they do defensively. So I applaud them with their. I mean, you look at the game. It was one team had 6 turnovers, the other team had 9 turnovers. We make 10 threes, they make 7 threes. We just couldn't get over the free throw hump. One team's 3 for 4, and the other team's 13 for 18. We're in a 3-2 zone most of the night, but it's unfortunate we just couldn't find ways of getting ourselves to the free throw line. I think we played 25 minutes the second half and never got to the bonus. So we'll have to look at tape and just see what we got to do to try to correct that moving forward. But the effort that the guys gave, I thought was tremendous. I thought we fought the entire night. So I'm very pleased with their effort.
Questions? Right here.
Right here. Yeah, Steve. How exhausted at the end of the day? How exhausted y'all been playing shorthanded all year? Did we see some of that in the overtime?
I'm sure. I'm sure in the overtime. It was 11-0 in the overtime. So I'm sure that comes into play, and that's why you need. I think we need some stoppage of play. Aaron just does as much as he possibly can. 45 minutes, we get him to line once. And it was late in the second half. So we got to figure out ways of getting him to the free throw line a little bit more because I think he's a handful. Tom, 17 and 17, we had some young guys step up. I thought Chris Wilkes did a lot of good things for us, again, offensively. Alex, hip was bothering him. Hip or back was bothering him, so he was limited in what he could do. So, we probably were a little bit, run down. But with the same token, they had 3 guys play 40-plus minutes as well, So that's not an excuse. I thought they just they stepped things up in the overtime, and we weren't able to match that.
Right here.
Steve, did you think Arizona maybe made a more dedicated effort to get the ball to Ayton in the second half?
Well, that's I think Sean and his staff are very good at what they do. So it's I think if you got a DeAndre Ayton, that's a pretty simple solution. He's special, and I thought they did a good job of feeding him. And then he made just about everything. I thought he was really good and very efficient. You go 13 for 16 in a game, you're pretty efficient in what you're doing.
Yeah, kind of following up on that, Thomas. What is it like to try to defend DeAndre down low?
I mean, he's a great player. He's just a really big guy, takes up a lot of space, and his skill down there as well. So, I mean, he presents a lot of problems for defense. And yeah, just going to this game, I just want to do the best effort I could guarding him. But he kind of got away from us tonight, and he's a special player.
Aaron, kind of a 2-part question for you. First of all, just sort of how you feeling right now, and second, did you notice, it seemed like they were kind of harassing you a lot of off-ball defense as well. Did you get a sense that they were kind of maybe trying to wear you down a little bit tonight?
I feel fine. Obviously tired, playing a lot of minutes, but I saw another guy either in the paint or in gap every time I drove, so they did a great job on defense getting the ball out of my hands.
Right over here.
With about 4 minutes left in the game, Steve, Aaron drove and there's about 5 guys around him, and it seemed to happen a lot tonight. Do you think that because of the way he plays, he doesn't get all the calls that maybe he should be getting?
Well, I'm not at liberty, probably to comment the way I want to comment. So I just think he is a load. I think off the ball, he knows how to cut. He knows how to draw fouls off the ball. He's really good on the ball of drawing fouls. And for whatever reason, we weren't able to do that. In a 45-minute game, we weren't able to do that. So again, we'll have to look at the tape. And we had 2 guys shoot free throws. GG shot 2, and Aaron shot 2. I mean, it's just the statistics I'm reading. So we got to figure out, obviously, how we can get to the line a little bit more.
Coach, kind of on a positive note, your 2 5-star recruits, Chris and Jalen, both made some really big, exciting plays today. You talk about what you saw out of them tonight.
Well, it's good. It's a good experience for them. And, Jalen bounced back. He's been out with an ankle sprain. I thought he bounced back tonight and gave us good energy. I thought he played with a lot of passion tonight, and we needed it out there. And Chris has been consistent all year. And I thought he really battled, and I thought his play was very good as well.
Steve, everyone talks about shorthanded all year and how proud you are of them tonight. Can you just encompass as Sunday approaches what this team has done for you playing like this, what everything you've had to go through as a coach? I don't know if you've been through something like this as a coach, whether in the Mountain West or wherever, but what this team means to you right now?
Well, that's what I appreciate most. I think that we've had incredible efforts out of these guys, and they've worked to improve all year long. They've done everything that we've asked them to do, and I think we're better. You know, we're better than what we were, 2 weeks ago. And so as we're entering March now, I thought we were, we came off the mountain road trip where we didn't play particularly well, but we had some good moments in that trip as well. But I thought we went to SC and put together a really good 40 minutes, played really good against Stanford, and I thought we gave great effort tonight. We didn't make our shots, and a lot of that had to do with their defense, and you applaud them because I thought they did a good job defensively. But this team has worked all year long, and it's been a joy to coach them. And we'll get back to Westwood and strap it up and find out what our fate is on Sunday and see where we go from there.
One or two more right here.
Steve, along those lines, how are you feeling about your tournament chances at this point?
Well, we feel good. I mean, we were third in this league. I've said it all along. We've been consistent all year. We were consistent in the non-league. We got good non-league wins. We were able to get 11 league wins and finish third in this league. So we were consistent in the league play. And we got the semifinals, beat a very good Stanford team, and then fought, obviously, a top 10 team in Arizona to overtime. So I think we've done enough to show we passed the eye test, and I think our body of work proves it. I think, we weren't able to buy the schedule. We only got to play Arizona and Arizona State at their place. We didn't get them at our place. So those would have been two opportunities, and we had a game canceled by fire in the non-league. So in the opportunities that we had, I thought our guys did a tremendous job of putting themselves in a good position. And obviously you've got Arizona in our league that has won our league championship, and we'll find out tomorrow who wins the league tournament championship. But when you go at larges in our league, we were 2-0 against the second place team. We were 1-1 against the first place team. So I think we've warranted making the tournament, but we're like everybody else. When you don't win the league tournament, you're at the mercy of just seeing if you can get an at-large, and we'll have to wait and see on Sunday.
All right, Coach, best of luck.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks.
Just a reminder for questions, please ask for a mic. Coach Miller, overtime victory onto the title game.
Well, tonight was certainly one of our best wins of the season, and it's because we played against a terrific team. You know, UCLA offensively, unless you're going up against them, you don't realize how hard they are to defend. And, you know, I don't know if there's a better guard that we've faced or there's a better guard in college basketball than Aaron Holiday. Well, the seasons he's had, what he's meant to his team. And I coached Thomas Welsh a couple summers ago in USA Basketball, and just those two guys, they really willed that team into the NCAA tournament. And, you know, it gives our guys and our team a lot of confidence, because if you can defend UCLA, I think you have an opportunity to defend some of the best teams, offensive teams in this country, and, you know, whether it be tomorrow or next week. And that's really what we talked about. UCLA did not score in overtime. Our defense was intact, even though there are times maybe when we had the ball we didn't execute as well. And that's what March is about. Can you win when maybe something that you normally do well doesn't happen for you? These two guys both played great. Obviously, DeAndre, 32 and 14. He may have played a little better in Raleigh, even though Raleigh was good. So happy and thrilled to be in the championship game, and look forward to a big challenge tomorrow.
Questions? Right here. Dominic.
Question for DeAndre. It seemed like you really caught fire in the second half. What did you see differently in second half against the UCLA defense that made you play so free?
I mean, just taking my time in the zone. When I catch at the high post, I just face up and just took what the defense gave me.
Coach, it seemed like you guys were playing Holiday pretty tight off the ball and were also pretty physical with him. Was it part of your game plan to try to break him down a little bit?
Not really break him down, you know, just guard him as a team, not one-on-one. But, you know, these two guys will tell you, Parker, he really met the challenge. There aren't many guards that can play the minutes that Parker did, 38, and defend Holiday at the level that he defended him from start to finish. You know, Aaron maybe didn't have his typical big game, but I think that Parker did a great job, as did our team, of trying to not let him beat us. I mean, we were well aware that he came into the game scoring 68 points last two games. You know, if Thomas Welsh was going to bang a bunch of threes, if Wilkes was going to have a big night, maybe we don't win. But we didn't want Aaron Holiday to do to us what he's done recently, and took a lot of effort. But you know, Parker took the challenge, and I thought our team supported him.
Right here.
Sean, at halftime, you guys were getting out rebounded. How much was that the talk in the locker room? Obviously, turned it around in the second half.
What do you think? Did we talk about rebounding at halftime? I think
We have no offensive
that was
boards.
probably the only thing that we talked about. We had 0 offensive rebounds. You know, if you're our team, you can't do that. It's the only game I think this year where we had not one offensive rebound, and UCLA had some killer second shots in the first half. It's not often that you can turn that around. We had 10 second shots in the second half, and I believe that UCLA had 2, if I'm right, meaning their offensive rebounds. So the rebounding advantage swinging our way was that, and guarding Aaron Holiday was probably the 2 biggest things that helped us win.
Right back here. Go, sir.
Sean, you guys travel well, but talk about the tournament being here. It just seems like you guys take over, and so it seems like to be a tournament that your fan base has embraced. If you could touch on that.
Well, you know, our fans, I mean, they're the best, one of the best in all of the country. You know, McHale Center, if you were with us on the last weekend, I don't know if there would be an arena filled with more excitement or pageantry than what these guys experienced in the last weekend playing in McHale. On the road, we hear the U of A chant quite a bit, and no question, this tournament has become a destination spot for a lot of them. It's a fun place to come and then to watch basketball. And it's not just us. I mean, we have a tremendous conference. I mean, if you looked out there tonight, I mean, you're counting 4, 5, 6 NBA players on the court. You're seeing some really good basketball. And I think the one thing about U of A fans, they're knowledgeable fans. They're not just emotional fans. they love the game, and no doubt this has become part of their spring.
Additional questions? It's been 5 minutes and 22 seconds. All right, there we go.
A question for DeAndre. It seemed like yesterday your team kind of picked you up with Alonzo and Dusan, but it was kind of like your night. Were you kind of feeling that you had to pick them up from your performance yesterday, or I guess what kind of goes through your mind when you kind of have a game that's kind of so-so and you have a big performance like tonight?
I mean, first game I had some butterflies first game, and it was just business after that first game. You know, the nervousness went away, and it was just business after that.
Sean, you're obviously talking about them like they are an NCAA tournament team. I think people assume now they will get in. So when they do get in, despite their seed, you talk about their offense. What else about UCLA could give issues next week, no matter where they go or who they play?
I mean, Thomas Welsh is an incredible rebounder. I know he's rebounded. He has 1,000 rebounds in his career. And they're so hard to defend because they can shoot the three-point shot at all 5 positions. And if you're not used to defending them, I mean, it really opens up the drives, and they mix their defenses. You know, a 3-2 zone, man-to-man. I mean, they're very good. We respect them a great deal, and like they've done in the past, I think you get to the tournament, you play against teams that haven't seen you before. I could certainly see them, marching past that first weekend, and you have a guard like Holiday. A lot of things can happen good for you. Got to ask Raleigh a question. He won't be right tomorrow if you don't.
Raleigh, can you talk about your teammate tonight? I mean, I think at one point he went 13 straight at the end of regulation and then to overtime. Obviously, guys, you were making an emphasis to get him the ball, but when he's like that, can you talk about playing with him not only this year, this year and seeing him in those kind of moments?
Man, he's a special talent. I see it every day in practice, so it's nothing new to me. But to you guys, you guys can see what we see every day. So it's just another day in the office for him. But there's no doubt in my mind that he's becoming in talks of like the National Player of the Year. He should be the Player of the Year in the country, and I don't see anyone playing better than him right now.
All right, Coach. See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.